The combat simulation chamber hummed with energy as instructor Thrascole activated the training program. His 23 students, representing a dozen different species across the galaxy, stood at attention in their protective gear. All except one. Cadet Rivera, the massive Thorsian instructor, rumbled, his 4 arms crossed skeptically. "Where is your exosuit?" Lieutenant Michael Rivera stood in standard-issue combat fatigues, checking his rifle's power cell. "Don't need it, sir. Slows me down." The Valorian student beside him chittered nervously. "Human Rivera, the simulation uses live ballistic rounds. Plasma grade. Even at training intensity, a hit could." "I know the risks," Michael said simply. Thrascole's eyes narrowed. Humans were notorious for their recklessness, but this bordered on suicidal. "Very well. Begin simulation." The chamber transformed into an urban warfare zone. Holographic enemies materialized, hostile drones, automated turrets, and combat androids. The students moved as a unit, their exosuits absorbing hits that would normally prove fatal. Michael moved differently. Where others relied on armor, he relied on speed and cover. His movements were fluid, economical, efficient. He cleared 3 sectors before the inevitable happened. A plasma bolt caught him in the left shoulder. The watching students gasped as Michael spun backward, his arm hanging uselessly. Training plasma rounds were designed to cause intense pain and temporary muscle paralysis, enough to simulate a real wound without causing permanent damage. Protocol dictated immediate withdrawal to the medical station. Michael dropped to one knee, breathing hard. Then he switched his rifle to his right hand and kept moving. "Cadet Rivera is hit," a Corinthian student called out. "He should withdraw." But Michael didn't withdraw. He pushed forward, using his remaining arm to operate his weapon. When a combat android flanked his position, he couldn't aim properly with one hand. So he charged it instead, using his rifle as a club, then finished it with a combat knife held in his teeth. Thrascole watched in stunned disbelief. "He's still fighting. Why is he still fighting?" A second plasma round struck Michael's leg. He collapsed, rolling behind cover. The pain simulators were working perfectly, scans showed his nervous system screaming in agony. Any other species would be unconscious. Michael pulled himself up using his one good arm and continued advancing, dragging his injured leg. "Someone help him," a young Delphinian cried. "No," Thrascole said quietly, his professional demeanor cracking. "Watch." Michael reached the final objective, a simulated bomb that needed to be disarmed. With one functioning limb, he worked the controls. His hands shook. Sweat poured down his face. But his eyes remained focused. The simulation ended with mission success. The chamber fell silent as Michael collapsed, finally allowing himself to show the pain he'd been suppressing. Medical drones rushed to administer healing nanites, deactivating the pain simulators. Thrascole approached slowly, kneeling beside his human student. "Why?" he asked. "Why didn't you stop?" Michael looked up, breathing ragged. "Because, sir, on the battlefield, the enemy doesn't stop just because you're hurt. My team needed that objective completed." He managed a weak smile. "Besides, I've seen human soldiers complete missions with worse. Hell, my grandfather finished a marathon with a stress fracture. This was nothing." The alien students gathered around, their perception fundamentally altered. They had read that humans were fragile, that their bodies were weak compared to most galactic species. But they had never understood what that really meant. Humans weren't fragile despite their injuries. They were dangerous because of them. Because they had evolved on a death world where stopping meant dying, where pain was just another obstacle to overcome, where survival meant pushing past every biological warning their bodies screamed at them. Thrascole stood, addressing his class. "Let this be your lesson today. Armor protects the body. But nothing in the galaxy can protect you from a species that simply refuses to stop. Michael was already asking when the next simulation would be.